What's up guys? If you want to see how I took this old, outdated, vintage dresser, gave it a complete makeover and transformed it into this beautiful showpiece, then stay tuned. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Ryan and I'm the content creator behind Revived by Ryan. On my channel, I want to show you that you don't need a lot of experience to make money flipping furniture. Every week, I'll be posting a brand new video where I take an old, cheap piece of furniture, restyle it and sell it for a profit on Facebook Marketplace. If you could subscribe to this channel, like, comment and share on this video, it really goes a long way to help my channel grow and I'd greatly appreciate it. Now, on to the video. I picked up this dresser from a seller on Facebook Marketplace who was moving home. I actually picked up two dressers from the seller. I'll generally try and do this as a combination of furniture I'll normally get for a better price. The dresser itself was in great condition and nothing physically or cosmetically was wrong with it. However, it was extremely dirty, so it was going to need a thorough clean. As always, I begin by removing the drawers. I then hoover the body and drawers inside and out to remove any dust balls or cobwebs left behind. Next, I removed the hardware. I wasn't using this hardware for the piece, so I put everything into a clear bag and stored it away. I always try to keep as many hardware options, so I rarely dump out pieces that I've received. To clean the dresser, I use an all-purpose degreaser with the rough side of a sponge. This is important so the paint sticks to the surface. I then wipe it down with a dry tack cloth. Once the dresser is completely dry, I inspect it for any dents or gouges that I may have to fill. However, there was no issues at all with this piece. To fill the hardware holes, I use Ronseal's high performance wood filler, leaving some excess as pretty much every wood filler shrinks. I allow an hour for the filler to dry completely. To sand the piece, I use a 120 grit sandpaper. I then fold it up with a 150 grit. This is to give the dresser a surface full of paint to adhere to. Using a medium to fine sanding sponge, I then sand the areas that my orbital sander can't reach. Once the wood filler had dried, I then use a manual hand sander, a 120 grit and then a 150 grit to get the surface perfectly level. Remember to hoover and clean as you go. With my medium to fine sanding sponge, I then sand the drawers down. You can always check out my Instagram page for upcoming furniture makeover videos at Revived by Ryan. I'll link it in the description down below. And again, cleaning as I go, as I don't want any of the dust ruining my paint finish. It's important to protect the inside of the body and the drawers for any paint overspray and to ensure your lines are nice and straight. I use this masking tape and clear sheet attachment. Remember, any tools I use in this video I'll link in the description down below. Remember, the prep time will benefit the final result of your project. To paint the piece, the colour I'm using is Hemway's Black Matte Chalk Paint. It's a very thick paint, so for my sprayer to spray it with a steady flow, I mix it with about 10% water and stir it until it's the perfect consistency. When using the paint sprayer, I always pre-spray on a loose piece of cardboard to ensure the flow is steady. As always, ensure you use a respirator and goggles. I apply the first coat using a steady motion and slightly overlapping as I go along. This paint states you don't need any primer, so I decided to give it a try without primer. If you enjoy furniture makeovers, don't forget to subscribe and click the post notifications bell down below as I post weekly transformations. Allowing 2 hours for the first coat to dry, I then applied my second coat. Unfortunately, I ended up regretting not using the primer because I had bleed through on the top of the dresser. To resolve this, I sprayed some primer on both bleed throughs, allowed 2 hours for them to dry, and then I sanded both areas with a 320 grit sandpaper. I then followed that up with another coat on top. For the top coat, I'm using Hemway's clear satin lacquer. To prevent the top coat from leaving a cloudy finish, I mix it with the original paint. Two coats of this top coat is enough, allowing 2 hours to dry completely. It was then time to remove the masking tape. Those smooth lines make the prep completely worth it. I used these brushed gold knobs that I picked up from Amazon for less than £1 each. To install the hardware, I mark out where I want them on one drawer. To keep it symmetrical, I measured from the width and centered it on both sides. With a countersink, I begin my pilot hole. Because the hardware screw was 3mm, I used a 1.5mm and a 2.5mm drill bit to create the guide holes. Doing this ensures your hardware is not crooked when installed. Once one drawer was completed, this was going to be my guide. I lined up the rest of the drawers. I then laid painter's tape along where the guide holes should be. I measure out each hole and mark it with a pencil. And with the same method as the first drawer, I create my guide holes for the remainder drawers. It was then just a matter of screwing in the hardware. And then sliding in the drawers. With a damp rag, I then wiped the surface to remove any dust, and it was complete. So this is how it looked before. And this is the final result. Thanks for watching today's video. Let me know in the comments what you think of today's transformation. Also, if you loved today's makeover, drop me a like down below. And as always, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.